Hello, I'm Dara and welcome to my beef farm. In this week's video, I'll just give you a quick look at what's in the calving shed at the moment. It's quite weak. I only had 4 cows calf, and to be honest with you, with the way the weather is at the moment, as you can see, I have my rain gear back on. I'm delighted I only had 4 cows calving, that I'm not chock-a-block with cows and calves and no place to go, no grass to go to them with. So we're just nicely comfortable now with the way cows and calves are at the moment. And next week now we'll start calving again. So I'll show you those few calves in a minute. And also the main part of the video is going to be a follow-up on my video, Are They Fit? I'm weighing the animals again and I'll show you their weights and what they've put on in the meantime and what their kill-outs were, their percentages, their weight and their grade. I'll try to sum it up at the end. It's very hard to sum these things up anyway, so I hope you'll find it interesting and you can follow the video through to the end, and sure you can let me know what you think. Comments, good or bad, are welcome. As I said, everyone's opinion is important and I'm not always right, and as I said, I'm looking to improve what I'm doing too, so I do read the comments and we take them on board. So anyway, I'll just get into the video and we'll leave it at that. So this, I've had 2 heifers calf this week. This nice black heifer there is a limousine by the bull Castleview Casino, CWI, and she's out of a Belgian Blue. And she calved herself and had that little red Angus bull calf there. Lovely hardy calf, born unassisted, about 283 days gestation. Then I had that nice Rony Charlie bull calf there out of Castleview, or Catana Supreme. He's out of that. She's an EBY cow, cross cemental, elderberry. She's about a 6 calfer, again, she calved herself. And then in there I had another Angus heifer, I think by ZEP, out of that red limousine there, and she is again Castleview Casino, CWI, out of mental. And that's not her calf, but they're great little heifers. They let Ant and suck them. You saw the heifer last week in last week's video. So as I said, all these heifers, and they're still in on straw. I'd like to get a bit of weather now to get them out, but look, they're all nice and comfortable in there. Simple little lie back for the calves. Everything was motoring on well. We had this cow as well. She is a limousine, I think, out of a previous stock bull I had. Again, out of a Partenay's cow. And she had this nice little black limousine heifer, and she is earmarked for a replacement. So she's out of a Brontemore Sailoring, and about 290 days gestation, born unassisted, grand, up and sucking, absolutely no bother. And then I noticed my cow here wasn't eating there one evening. I was going home and I saw that she hadn't her silage yet. And I said, geez, that's strange. I said, I'll look at you in the morning. When I come out in the morning, she wasn't well at all. And I called the vet. And by the time I called the vet and the vet called out, you could actually nearly see her deteriorating. Her calf was very lethargic and a bit off looking as well. So I drew the cow, and sure, Jesus, she had E. coli mastitis in the back tit, and the other 3 teeth were gone. The stuff in them wasn't great either. So the calf was sucking that old shite, and he wasn't well. So the vet came out anyway, and she treated the cow. We pumped her with fluids, and I'll be honest with you now, after 24 hours I thought I was going to lose the cow. But she's after making a very good recovery, and the milk is coming back now in the 3 teats there. It's just back to white colour now today. I've been putting her in the calf gate and milking her out there twice a day, trying to get the colour right. So the calf, that's why the calf is there. I just took her away there for and I'm feeding her milk, so she can go back now to her mother. As you see, she's nice and comfortable in herself there now, and she's back chewing. So look, little hiccup along the way. Farming is nothing if it doesn't keep you on your toes. As I said to the vet, I have something new every year, and this is something new on me. I've never had E. coli mastitis before in a suckler cow. You get bits of mastitis, but never E. coli, and thankfully she's on the mend. I was afraid that if she did recover, that she wouldn't come back in the milk, and I'd end up with a bucket reared calf, which I'd hate to have, and a cull cow. But I think now she will lose 1/4, but I live with that, and she seems to have plenty of milk back in the other two. So that's the update anyway from the calf and shed. Now I just have the finishing cattle out today. I want to weigh them. It's a month, just a month since we weighed them last. They were weighed last 3rd of January. So today is the 5th of February. So we'll see how they're getting on, what weight they've put on, and what's fit for the factory. Up, up, one, up. You can see from going up along them now that they're a lot fleshier than they were the last day. Even that Frisian now, she's fit to go, and see loads of balls of flesh around her tail. Same way with that heifer there. And bullock at the front now is fairly fleshy too. So we'll put him into the scales now and we weigh them and compare them from the last day. Now in the last video, this heifer was 508 kilos. 2736 is her number, so we'll see what she has put on in the meantime. 36. So she's gained 0.7 a day. The last day we weighed her, she was gaining 1.5. So I don't know, sure she's fit to go now anyway. The weight has dropped off her there. At 542 kilos, so she kill out in around the 270 kilos. So now there I have a Hereford bullock in on the scales there. It's 588 kilos. He's gaining 0.96 a day. And he is well fit to go now as well. The next bullock in now is 566 kilos, doing 0.84. So you'll be looking at a 280 kilo out on him. He's well fit to go. Loads of flesh on him. Yeah. So. Good bullock there now enough. Again, another Hereford bullock in, this time 554. You're looking at 280 kilos kilo out, 0.64. Like their weight gain is not much to write home about, but they're after layering down flesh, so you know they're fit to go now. They won't be hanging around anymore. So they're all nice fleshy cattle now so far in this pen. I had this heifer in the last time as well. She was weighing 520 the last time. I was kind of disappointed with her weight. I thought she should be heavier. Now she's weighing 550. She'd only be doing 0.6 a day or something. 0.6 a day. But she is well fit now to go to the factory. She has covered up over her back. And she has a nice bit of flesh on her tail there and good covering over the ribs. So at 550 kilos, she should be killing out at 270 kilos. So she should hit the factory specs anyway. Just follow her out again. Like, she's a narrow heifer. You'll be looking at O equals maybe at best with her now. I'd say if I was to score her now, I'd say O equals 3+. Now there's a decent heifer. If you had all your heifers like her now, you'd be laughing. 2722. Now again, she's just doing 0.9 kilo a day, but 630 kilos. She'll kill out really well now. So she should kill out in around the 310, 315 mark. That 50% kill out, she should do 50% now. She's well fleshed now this time. She was one we were looking at in the yard the last day, humming and hawing over, but we left her back, and I said pay to leave her back now. She's a good heifer now, plenty of flesh on her. So I gone through all those cattle now. There's 10 in that pen, and grouted me way. And they're all fish, and they're all going to be over 260 kilos carcass weight, which they'll qualify then for that extra 30 cent of the factory bonus. There's only one heifer there that won't qualify, and that's for that Frisian. So she'll be a P plus at best now, probably a P plus. God knows what she'll be. But she's only 500 kilos. She was a half twin to a male. I know when you see it there, the weight gain is not fantastic there, but at the same time, they're after laying down flesh now, so you kind of have to take that little hit there. The price has gone up, I think, around 40 to 50 cent in the meantime since we weighed them last. And I did increase the meal from 4 kilos to 5 kilos on this group, but you can definitely see that the feeding has paid off on them, and they will kill out. They should kill out to 50% now with the extra bit of feeding them. I wouldn't be worried about the average daily gain for the last month, because you're kind of laying down flesh more so than growing frame, with the frame growing as much as we can at this stage. So we'll get out the Frisians now and we'll have a look at them and see how many of them are fit. So it's nice to have this pen going anyway. Now, there's a very fit looking Frisian there now. Nice to see at last. A lad that's coming now. Maybe I could do it another bit, I don't know. There's a fella as well, but it's hard to judge him now because he's so narrow up on top there. Probably do it another little bit. There's a fairly fit bullock now. Great flesh there around the tail. Good covering up along his back. So, first lad in is 538 kilos. 2680. So he's only gaining 0.36 a day. 0.36 a day. And sure, he's not fit. So it's hard to have to keep feeding the likes of him now, doing 0.36 a day. You know, he's only a P at best, like, you know. So this is reinforcing what I'm saying about what it takes to feed these cattle. It takes a hell of a lot of stuff to finish them, and there is a hell of a lot of growth between a calf and 2 years of age, or even 30 months of age. So there's a decent bullock now, 2669, and he's gaining 0.84, and he's fish. Very fit bullock now. I'll just mark him. So he'll give 300 kilos now of a kill out in the factory. So, and he'll qualify for the 30 cent bonus as well. I think we showed him in the crush anyway, so there's no need to follow him out, but good fit bullock. Now this fella, 2674, 612 kilos, and at least he's gaining 0.72 a day, but again, I think he could do it a little bit more. Another fortnight now will do a lot on him. Now this lad is 606, but he's fierce well fleshed. He's doing 0.72 a day, 2665. So he'll do the 300 kilos. It's a really good bullock there. Well fleshed now, you know. I forgot to mark him. Feck it anyway. Oh, we had this lad in the last day, 2632. He's a light bullock. He's doing 0.4 a day. He was 520 kilos the last day. He's 550 now. He's 530 the last day, so he's only put on 20 kilos. He's small, he's hard on, he's fleshy enough, but I think I'll leave him there for another bit. Another decent bullock there. 2686. He's doing 0.8 a day, and he's fit to go. Let's mark him there. He'll kill out 310 kilos anyway, hopefully. And another one for the lorry. The lad might scrape an O now. He's decent bullock. Now we'll see what this fella is. 2641. Ah. 604. 5.6 a day. And I think he's fish enough now to go. He'll kill out 300 kilos. Come on. He's a decent bullock enough now. Again, he another lad that might grade O, like. Oh, it's hard to know. O minus anyway. Oh, here's a Hereford in. I think he was 550 the last day. He was doing over a kilo the last day, so the weight gain has dropped off. I think a lot of time when the weight gain drops off, it's a sign that they're laying down fat and they're getting fish. So that lad is well fit to go at 588 kilos. Sure, he's going to kill out. Should kill out around the 290 kilo mark. So we'll mark him. So he'll hit the bonuses. He'll get his Hereford bonuses, and hopefully he'll grade. Let's see what he'll grade now. Hard to know. Oh, should scratch an O plus maybe. So this bullock then was 580 or something the last day, and he's not fish. He's 602 today, and the last day he was doing 1.3 of a kilo a day, and sure then his weight gain now is falling off a cliff again. So that's the crack with these lads. They're up and down, and so he's not fish. He'll need another fortnight to get that final finish on him, and at best he's a P. So there's a decent bullock again, 626, doing half a kilo a day. And to mark him as fish as well. So let him out there and see. Move away. Big bullock now. He could grade an O. Might scratch an O equals there, you'd never know. Now we're the last bullock in. This is number 2624. And no, he's doing 0.4 a day. He's not fishing. He's going to need another fortnight anyway to get that flesh up on him. So we've gone through the cattle in this pen, and we picked out 9 of them that are fish, that we think are fish. They're going anyway. They're probably all are over the 600 or 600 kilos or thereabouts, and hopefully they'll kill out 300 kilos. Say there's 9 going to be left back that are doing pretty poor weight gain, but they just need that extra feeding just to get the fat covers up on them, the cover flesh up on them, like that fella there. Just that little bit, fortnight now or 3 weeks would make a bullock of him. That fella there, I don't know what would make a bullock of him, like, because he's terrible narrow, like he's a P grade every day of the week. As I said in the last video, I won't be feeding any more Friesians from now on, and I'm not sorry. And that kind of weight gain, again, I didn't cherry pick any figures. I don't have any agenda. I'm just saying it as it is. I'm saying it as it is and saying it as I see it here. And I know from the comments in the last video, a lot of people are concurring with me that they're saying that they're finding something similar. And as I said, their genetics are bred for milk and milk solids, not for beef and beef traits, and not for weight gain. They're bred for big intakes with small weight gain, and that's what's happening. I've been thinking about how I was going to summarise out the video of the finishing cattle. So I think what I'll do is I'll just maybe go through the average weights and grades and stuff of the different dairy beef animals that we sold here. So the heifers averaged out 262 kilos in the end, which is not really overly representative of the group. I had 12 heifers that were under 260 kilos. And as I was saying through the video, my aim is 260 kilos because I'm trying to get the factory bonus of 30 cents. Now, we had a couple of heifers there around 258 kilos and they don't get paid. It's 260 or nothing. So, and then there was a good bundle down at 245 kilos. But then when you saw in the video there was a couple of very heavy heifers that would have brought up the overall average. So I had 12 heifers that missed the 30 cents bonus. Very disappointed with that now, if I'm being quite honest with you. And I did kind of let that known to the factory. You know, I felt that their lower weight is going forward is going to be too high, because I don't think the weights of the Angus and Hereford heifers are going to be improving so going forward. Bulls for Angus and Hereford, easy calving is the aim of the game. I was looking on Dundee at an Angus Bulls, and the first thing that said for every ad is easy calving, down as far as 0.4%. So if you were having that kind of a bull, and then you're touting for kind of a smaller, more efficient cow, and your cow weight comes down as well, and then your carcass gains or weights are obviously going to be smaller. But CBV or no CBV, small cow, small bull, small calf, and small carcass down the line when you finish them. So the weight rated there had 24% O minus, 56% O equals, and 20% O plus. So that kind of tells its own story there, that even with a good bull there, and I buy all my heifers off the same man, buy them off my brother every year, same type of cows and the same bulls. So you're kind of looking at that in around that O equals grade all the time. So that's kind of where they're at the moment. So as I was saying, if you break it down into percentages there, 54% of my heifers didn't get the 30 cent bonus. So even if you were just to use a lower weight level of 260 kilos by 30 cents on the number of heifers I had, it's nearly not far off €1,000. So that's disappointing now. And in the meantime, I think the factory has actually dropped the specs to 240 kilos, which is very welcomed. And you know, if they hadn't have done that, I would be possibly looking at not joining that scheme next year, because you have to look after number one. And if you feel that it's mostly heifers I'm going to have coming again next year, and feel that you're not going to be hitting the specs, well, obviously you're not going to stay doing the same thing and expecting different results. On the Hereford and Angus bullocks I had then, the average weight was 290 kilo carcass, and you're probably talking about maybe 23 months of age, slaughter weight. Their grades were 11% O minus, 74% O equals, 11% O plus, and 4% R minus, which is really one bullock. So again, you can kind of see the majority of the grades are in around that O equals area. So if you're talking about base price, you're down 18 cents there straight away on every animal you buy in as a calf. Now, if you were looking at the last video, it was mostly the Friesians I was showing, and maybe you picked up on it, I was quite frustrated with them. I had put a lot into them. Now granted, there were 50 kilos lighter coming into the shed, and probably all my animals were, and we're at the back of a bad summer thrive wise, and a very long bad winter and an early winter previous to that. So costs are high on them, but to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised and very happy with how they killed out. They did 50% and better. I think in the previous video I said I reckon my Friesians are going to average about 290 kilos this year. So they've averaged 315 kilos. So they've come in more or less around the same as every other year, even though they started from a lower base. The breakdown of them is it's equally P pluses, O minuses and O equals. They're just equally 33% across the board there. The price, I think, is our saving grace this year. Only for the price has gone up so much the way it has, they probably wouldn't be anything made out of those cattle, because there's so much gone into them between the last winter being so long and this winter as well. I said in the last video I was feeding 6 kilos a meal, and I was reading in the comments and someone had suggested going to 8 kilos. Now, I didn't go to 8 kilos, I actually went to 7, and the heifers were on 4, and I went to 5 on them. So for the final month in, I've actually put in an extra kilo a meal. Everyone knows the price of beef at the moment is on the front page of the paper every week. It's on social media. Massive beef price, crazy prices, record prices, all these big headlines and buzzwords. It's not before time either. We need the beef price to be there, and it probably needs to be better going forward. All our inputs are going up. So what am I going to replace all these cattle that are gone out? What am I going to buy in this year? And that's a very good question. I don't know. And I will have to replace them with something, because if you don't have the stock, you have nothing to sell. I'm probably not going to buy any bullocks this year. There's a couple of reasons. I suppose purchase price is going to be the one reason, so I think I'm going to buy all heifers. And then there's nitrate issues. Apparently bullocks excrete more nitrogen than what heifers do, so it'll give me a little bit more scope there on nitrates by having all heifers instead of bullocks. And I'm hoping maybe for an earlier finish and less input costs on them. Whether I buy Hereford and Angus heifers and maybe try and get some continental heifers to go through them, I don't know. I have to wait and see what the price of calves is going to be. Like, the price of calves makes no sense to me at the moment. To me, they're way inflated over where they should be. For me, buying in calves, going on the prices at the moment, it's going to cost me at least 6,000 or 7,000 more to buy in the same number of calves. I've shown you pretty well what the weight gains are over the different groups of stock I have, and maybe I'm not doing things right, but I do things as I try to run a tight enough ship here and monitoring gains all the time. And it's a trend that's there all the time, is high intakes, low feed conversion efficiency. And even in the Herefords and Anguses, they're well able to eat too. So I think I leave the video at that. I was just trying to summarize kind of from the last video and from this video kind of how the cattle did. I'm not going to obviously tell you what money they come into. That's between me and myself and I. And like, I've given enough information, and I have to try and keep something to myself anyway. I'm sure a lot of you anyway will be able to work it out anyway. I leave it at that there, and I'd say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.